Cards with a K is a game of light strategy which pits the powers of World War II, deck versus deck, card versus card, and we're going to take a look at it here today on Legendary Tactics. And so we have defeated Germany, and so we're going to take on Britain here in this next game of cards, just so you can see how the German starter deck goes. I think facing it the last time as I did, I think it's actually a really great starter deck from what I've seen, but they're probably fairly equal. Now you can see something that's nice off the top is a lot of 1 credit units, which is always useful. And there's one where you can pin an air unit, which may not come into play yet because air units are usually more expensive. But the good news is, oh, and here's Fury. So this Fury can attack twice each turn, which is both good and bad because, of course, it means that it would take damage as well each turn. I got a boost in credits, but I may not be able to utilize that. I got to make sure to time that right, make sure I've got some units that are expensive in hand so I can afford them. But I like having those affordable units right out of the gate because they mean that you can play cards every turn. You can make sure that you're not wasting any credits early on, and you're not going to fall behind. So that's good. Okay, we got a Panzer 4G that might benefit from that boost in credits that I have there. So just play one of the guys there and do some damage, but we've got our other unit there under smoke screen, so we may just keep that there for now, just to hold him back for the time being. If he uses the Fury on the other one, he's gonna eliminate both of us. So but he played a card which allowed damage on a tank, and for some reason didn't attack our HQ twice, but that's fine. Once again, this is just the tutorial. You get a glimpse of the different starter decks, get a sense of how each faction plays. I think that's important. We're going to get in some air units in play right away, which is great. We didn't have enough credits to attack, so that's okay, but oh, and he got an air unit in play there, and he attacks us, but that just wipes him out in the end anyway. So and we've got something which hurts an enemy unit, -3 attack and -1 defense, dive bombing. That's kind of an interesting one, so I'm sure that'll get some good use. I'm really looking forward to that Panzer, so we're gonna play that one so that we've got enough money to afford it, and we're going to use the blackout to pin that unit and draw another card. So we got plenty of expensive stuff that we can hopefully put into play with our bonus next turn. The retreat ability means that if a unit's in the front line, it has to retreat to the support line, or if it's in the support line, it's back into their hand. That's usually a deployment thing. Fortification gives the HQ a bunch of defense. So you can see the Brits are about defense. A lot of their cards are about boosting defense and so forth. So, but it's neat because they have the opportunity to have every deck has an opportunity to have a different flavor and a different style of play, and that's what you want from this kind of game in general. It's not enough to have the different card abilities. You want them to know how they are going to play. So. Anyway, I got some units down, which is good, and I don't know why. I don't think I got my bonus for that card I played last time. But anyway, they play 3 credits to get a couple cards, and the Hurricane blasts my HQ from the support line. So that's interesting. I didn't know they could do that, but that's okay. We're going to see what we can do to get up to the front line here. Get some good units in play. We're getting 6 credits now. Every turn it gets a little bit bigger and better. So we're going to get a couple units up on the front line, start to put some pressure on. And those Panzer IV, we've got a couple of them down now, so that's going to be great. Now the artillery is really interesting. It receives no damage in return when attacking, and it can blast cards on the support line as well. So he's put down his guard. You can see the guard symbol next to the artillery. So that unit's kind of interesting because it's 5 health, which is pretty good. Doesn't do a lot of damage in return, but you got to take him out before you can take out the neighboring cards, and that can, you know, take a little while if you got to do 5 damage first. But anyway, it's you know, it's there's a real I don't know, it's a really interesting kind of dynamic, and I can see as the card crafting comes into play, and there's a little more. You know, again, like something like Hearthstone or what, you know, building your own deck, making it work. It does sometimes, I'll have to see how this plays, but sometimes games like Hearthstone suffered from the fact that if you played against someone who just had more money than you, then, you know, or whatever, they'd played more, they'd more experience, they just crushed you because their cards were so powerful. But anyway, you can see the guard taking effect there. And you can see that card that I played there, which lowered his attack for the round. That's really, really handy if you're just looking to, you know, hit him with that before you attack. And then you take, you know, no damage, which is amazing. So he's still, yeah. So he attacks, and the guard is wiped out now. Does some damage on the enemy tank. That was perhaps overkill on that guy, but. He's only a 1 attack strength, but okay, whatever. Just the tutorial, so we're not going to question it too much. But you can see how the support line is full. We got to keep cards moving up. So there is a sense of cycling these cards as well. You don't necessarily want units to live forever, because you do want them to come off the front line and make room for the stuff that you have in the support line. And so forth. So you do want to. There's a bit of management in terms of you know, making sure that the you know, the units that you have in play are the best that you can have, and you may need to attack and get rid of a few of them, even if it means they're eliminated. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So the anyway, he just used that to boost his. His HQ is up to 35 victory points. So you can see, using this dive bombing effect, I'm using it mainly so that I can attack with impunity and take no damage on those, which is great. So now I probably should have taken out the artillery there, but that's fine. We'll just keep on advancing units here. Does take 2 credits to advance those guys. And we'll just, you know what, hey, we'll just load up the front line here. Why not? Now I did want to kind of keep those guys back as a guard, but you know, because the bonus to the defense is something that's up upon deployment. Once they're in play, it doesn't really matter. They can be thrown up there. And oh, it's going after my tank there. Now you can see he's got a bunch of credits, but no cards, and so. You know, you have to, just because you have a lot of credits doesn't mean you're going to be able to do a lot with them. He boosts his HQ to 39. That should, that's pretty tough. but at the same time, there's not really a lot of stuff there. Now I'm actually going to start, you know, looking to again lower the attack, you know, on that guy. Yeah, just choosing my unit here. I think it's, I don't know if that was probably not the best one, but whatever. So we're going to just hit him with everything we got, take out that artillery finally with this guy here, and hit him. And I've already fired that guy, and I don't have enough credits to attack that guy, so my my front line is already full, so I have to waste a credit. This is where you got to manage the resources as well, to make sure that you're not wasting anything. So he drew a card he couldn't really use, so that's interesting. My front line is full, so I'm just going to hammer him from every point of view, get some good good reinforcements in the support line. And even though he had a very strong HQ, I don't think he's going to last all that long, even though he's got his guard up. And there's his, that's the card he picked up before. So yeah, so that's a pretty good defensive card, having the guard with 7 health there. I mean, as it happens, he's up against a fairly substantial force. But that said, it's kind of a neat defense. I'm gonna just get rid of this tank off the front line. I got to make room for other units. As I said, you do have to kind of cycle through, and so get these wimpy units off the line and make room for another couple stronger units to take their place, so we can finish this game off sooner. And he's not in a good place. He may have 22 health on his HQ, but not having any cards in hand means that he's not, unless he draws especially well. I'm just going to double check, make sure I didn't miss anyone. No. Oh, I did miss one. So, but otherwise it's going to be game over this turn or next turn. Unless he pulls out something super amazing. He does pull out the guard, and it is a pretty decent one. Yeah, those guards can be, I imagine if you've got a good setup, that those guards can actually be pretty handy in protecting your HQ, and also maybe protecting artillery or something like that. As it happens, there's just too much of a force up against him right now. I'm fine to get rid of him. We'll be able to make room for stronger units, and yeah, at this point it's just a matter of time. So we'll fill up our support line there, and move up the free unit, although that may be a mistake in a way, because I may want to make room for my new tank unit there, I suppose. But again, doesn't really matter per se. We're just having fun right here, beating up on the tutorial AI. So, but hopefully it's giving you a sense of how each force kind of plays. I think the Germans' strength is in their blitz and ability, where basically they get to attack quickly and right away, and smoke screen and that sort of thing. So anyway, that's the Germans, and now we've beaten the British, so we can take their deck and fire that up for our next game of cards. Thank you so much for watching. This is Legendary Tactics.